JB Circles here with a weekend video on August the 3rd. So I'm back from my summer holidays, but some kind of virus had gotten me and I've been in bed all day. But I thought I had to make this video. So in my previous video I said the 17-week cycle was approaching a top, but in mid-July it looked too early for a market top. Actually, I drew these two scenarios, and that was back at this point. So I was expecting a deeper pullback at that point, but we didn't get that. We did not break the 20-day moving average, not before Friday's drop. So now we are in some kind of a corrective phase, and the 17-week cycle is bearish into somewhere late August or into September. But this top looks a bit bullish, right translated, similar to this one in December. So my main scenario is something similar to December to February. And that's what the historical analogs were suggesting, that when we have a failed start of a bear market, when it fails, we should look for an ABC bullish move. And all this rally has been the A move, and looks like we now finally have started the B move, and we should see a higher high sometime in September, October. If we zoom out a little bit, I've been bearish for a while now because of the 3.5-year cycle, and if the top in February had been the bull market top, that would have been an early top, and that would have allowed for 30, 40, 50% downside in this bear market. But now that we have gotten a new all-time high in July, now it looks more like a bullish late top, and I think now the target would be around the April lows, sometime this fall or spring or next summer sometime. That would be sometime around here. So this black line is the 3.5-year moving average, and these other lines is the half cycle offset, should be support. So yeah, sometime here would be a likely or a possible low, but we could break that support and still could be something deeper, but that's not my main scenario. So around next spring, summer, I will turn bullish and look for the next bullish 3.5-year cycle. But right now, my interpretation of the market is this 17-week cycle is a dominant cycle, but you can't really use it. It's the 10-week cycle you should use, and a 10-week cycle does not fit with a 17-week cycle. So this is currently a 10-week oscillation. I say cycle and oscillation. A cycle is something tied to a physical cycle, like a planetary cycle, solar activity, while an oscillation is just a market oscillation, the market adjusting to these fundamental cycles. So this 10 weeks oscillation, I still don't know what it is, but that's the one I use for trading. And this 10-week oscillation, it operates within a 17-week cycle. So like this was a 10-week oscillation, this is a 10-week oscillation, this is one, and currently we are here. We are looking for some kind of a low. But I don't think we are crashing directly into a new bear market. It will be A, B, and then we should look for the final top sometime in September, October. There is, however, a bearish scenario here. That would be something like this, and I have it here in green. However, we are a bit bullish, right translated, but within the possibility. So that would make this a 10-week oscillation, making a low around August the 20th. And then we can't rally to an all-time high, but rather we are continuing in the downtrend and making a low early October. That could, turn this directly into the long-awaited bear market. So we have to see what happens. How deep do we go in August, and can we rally? So my main scenario is, I think we can. That's the historical analogs, like this. But, we have to be prepared. But, I've been bearish so long, and now am I suddenly bullish now? Yeah. So, I'm not really bullish. I'm just trying to be objective here, and I think that the objective analysis is the black one here, is the most likely scenario. But I really would like personally to see us just crash down. So let's go further. The VIX wavelet is also saying, the VIX wavelet used on the S&P says the S&P has topped and we're going down. We have this projection saying, look for downside for 2-3 weeks. And this other projection saying pretty much the same. 2 to 4 weeks. Some kind of a corrective move in August. And this primitive tool I'm having here, placing it at the wavelet top, says expect 2 more weeks of correction. That could change. This wavelet can change, but right now it says in about 2 weeks time. Going back here, it says look for a low at this point, and that's just a day or two away from the low. And I normally don't use this for finding tops, but you can use it. And then you place it at the low, you go to the right end, and normally then you add some days, and that's where we got this current top. So we have these two scenarios still. We could just crash down into a bear market here, but most likely some kind of a low in August and then a higher high in September, October. And then we could look for something bearish. I think that was it. The 4-week cycle here has not really worked well. It is having its worst performance in 4 or 5 years, I think. So these red triangles, that's the 10-week oscillation, and we're looking for a 10-week oscillation, sometime here, but it could be later and it could be lower. So currently we don't know. So the 4-week cycle is here in green, and the 2-week oscillation within it, sometimes it disappears in the market. But this was a nice 4-week cycle low. This was a nice one. This is, that's within normal when you have a strong rally. But then here it gets messy. Here, that was much too early. This is still much too early, and this is even earlier, and now we are completely inverted. So at the moment this cycle is worthless, but let's see if we, the coming months, can find a stable pattern again. Normally that is what happens. This cycle is always in the market, but there are periods when it just doesn't work. So, we have broken the 1 cycle moving average, and we have broken the 1 cycle offset, so we are getting bearish signals, and this corrective phase should go on in August, but it is possible it could be also sideways. We can make a double top, and it could all end up as a sideways consolidation, or a double top and a deep correction, and many possible outcomes. So I think that was all in my video, and I'm hoping to get well and make some new interesting videos for you, and let's hope that I was quite satisfied with my predictions up into around May. And May and June was just a nightmare because I couldn't accept this bears failing. But let's hope bears will come with a comeback.